Hello, everyone, and welcome to Real Talk with Pastor Z and Bishop T. We're so happy to have all of you on board on tonight. We do want you to share this particular broadcast. We are actually advertising right now, and you can actually catch us on several different platforms. We're on Facebook Live for those that are looking for us. We're on Facebook Live. We're on YouTube as well. And you can actually comment and ask questions on both of those particular platforms. We do also have a Twitter page, Real Talk with Z and T, our Talk with Z and T. Okay. And so we do want you to like and subscribe on our YouTube page, like our Real Talk page, and we pray that you enjoy the show tonight. Enjoy the show. We're here to inform and to encourage uh, our listeners, as well as ask the hard questions that to our audience or to our guests that you will want to know the answer to. What's up, Bishop T?
Pastor Z, how are you?
I'm doing pretty good. How about yourself?
I am well. I am well. Things are going well. I've had a decent day, a good day. And so I am ready to dig into the show and hear some information that I'm not real familiar with. So um it's wonderful. We hope others will join us tonight and go ahead and get some others on with you, uh, share and invite some others to participate. It's good to have those who are already on
That's right.
tonight. Good to have them on with us, and look forward to some others joining the show tonight.
Right.
You've had
Hello, Miss Reba Stanley. Good evening to you. Good evening to Miss Conteria Williams. Those are the folks that are speaking to us at this moment. If you're on, you're welcome to comment and speak to us, and we will definitely speak back to you. But we're definitely glad to have all of you on board on tonight. Tonight, we're going to have the COVID update from Councilman Thomas Worthy, as well as our special guest is community activist Mr. Joseph Cole. He just recently appeared before the city council. We're going to talk to him about that particular conversation with the mayor and the council, as well as the past problems that he experienced as a leader, as the president of the SCLC, the present issues he see, and is there any future hope for the city of Gadsden? For the city of Gadsden, just want to have a conversation with Mr. Joseph Cole, and we're gonna bring it right into your living room, your dining room, wherever you may be. What's up, Deacon Chris Burnett, man? How you doing? Glad to have you on. Minister Diane Treadwell, hello. How are you doing? And you get a chance to talk to Joseph Cole once he appears. So we do want you to share this information. We're also, if those that are not on social media or neither on YouTube, you're able to dial into our conference call number. That number is 1-646-224-5980. That PIN number is 334-1986. Go ahead and share this information with any and everyone. We're ready. Hello, my classmate, Miss Mary Smitherman. Glad to have you on. Glad to have you on. All right, Bishop, you ready?
I'm ready.
If you're ready, I'm ready. Let's go.
Real Talk disclaimer. The information provided by the host on this platform is for education and awareness purposes only. All information provided on this platform is provided in good faith. We make no representation or warranty of any kind, express or implied, regarding the accuracy, validity, and reliability of information shared by the host or show guests. The views and opinions of guests on the show do not necessarily reflect the views or opinions of the host of Real Talk. Under no circumstances do the host, show guests, sponsors, or affiliates assume responsibility for the actions of any viewer.
All right. You know what time it is, don't you? COVID update. Mr. Thomas Worthy. Mr. Thomas Worthy.
I can't even see y'all. Can you hear me?
We hear you.
Can you hear me?
We
Yeah.
hear you.
I can't even see y'all.
What did you do from the time?
I'm gonna go ahead on and give the update. Let me call Z.
Just go ahead and give the update.
What did he do?
This thing act like that. Okay.
He's calling me. Hold up. This Thomas Worthy, y'all.
Hey, you can't hear me?
We can hear you, man.
I
Won't
can't
you?
hear you all.
Okay. Unplug your set and plug it back up. Okay, what about now?
Okay. I think I got you. But
All right.
Can y'all see me?
We can see you and everything.
Okay. I can't see y'all face. But okay. Well, I'm gonna give you the COVID update. It is not good news, really. Our positivity rate is the highest it's been. It's at 56%. So that means every person getting tested, 1 out of 2, is coming back positive. We are in a very high range. They're expecting us to peak, hopefully here in Etowah County. They're saying the early part of February, but they're not 100% sure on that. We are having anywhere from 100 to 200 cases per day here in Etowah County. Riverview Hospital, they have 42 in-house patients. 30 employees are out. The ICU is full, and they on diversion. Gadsden Regional, 47 in-house. And if I heard them correctly, 78 staff members are out. And they full in their ICU, and they on diversion also. So they're still pleading with people not to come to the emergency room for tests. Please go to your doctor to one of these outside medical centers to get your test. Also, Quality of Life is giving tests on Monday, Wednesdays, and Fridays. The Gadsden Fire Department, in the last 3 weeks, they've had 28 employees out, but everybody's back now, but 3, I believe. 3 is still out. And they are still running PUI cases. That means people under investigation for the coronavirus, and it's real steady. So hopefully it'll get better. We didn't get an update from the Gadsden City school system or the Etowah County school system, but the Tala school system, they have 55 cases, 39 students, and 16 staff is out. And our vaccination rate now here in Etowah County for 1 shot is 50%. For 2 shots, it's 42%. And then for the booster, we're at 20%. North Gadsden Baptist Church over in Glen, well, everybody says Glencoe, but it's really Gadsden. They did a testing and vaccine clinic on Tuesday. They had 163 people to get tested. So since we had 56%, 1 out of 2 gonna come back positive on that, and we don't have those numbers yet. And then 30 people was vaccinated. So we're still asking everybody to continue to wear the mask, uh, wash your hands. Personal hygiene is very critical, and social distance. Do you all have any questions of me?
Yes. Let me ask you something. They have, um, and I've been seeing it most recently. Um, these free tests that you can order for your homes, are those
Right.
legit?
Yes. The
Yeah,
federal government is
federal
giving
government.
those out. I believe it's 4 per household.
It
Uh,
is.
and they
And
go ahead. I'm
go
sorry.
ahead, go ahead.
No, I think they started Wednesday. Actually, they started a couple of days before that. They was already taking orders, but mainly it started Wednesday. That was the due date to
And
start ordering.
it takes a matter of about 3 minutes, 5 minutes. You can log on, fill out, and have it ready. It doesn't take any time to do.
I'll give you the website you can go to here in just a second. Let me find it. Several people sent it to me.
And it is rumored, and I don't know if any truth to it, that people are knocking on doors, handing out masks that's supposed to be contaminated with something.
Yes, I've seen that, and I call our police department to make sure that's not happening. We don't have any reports of that happening around here. I believe that was in California. So people coming with all kind of evil ways to do things to people. So please be careful. If it's a group that's going around that you don't know, just get on the phone and call the police department. 256-549-4578. That's the police department number. Call them and inquire before you take anything from
Well, I
people that you don't
suggest
know.
as cheap as masks are, just get your own.
Yeah, that's true too. But some people,
Still, still.
just won't do it, won't get them. But the website is www.covidtests.gov. And they will send you the test,
That's
4 per
www.
household.
Say it again.
Dot
www.cov.
idtests.gov. Gov.
TESTS
Yes.
.gov.
Mm-hmm. www.covidtests, that's all one word, .gov, Gov.
Okay.
Mhm.
Okay.
All right. Please, people, if you haven't gotten the shots, go get the shots because we still having what I believe about 16 or 1700 people dying a day here in the United States from this. So we have to we got to do better because 90%, 95% of the people that's in the hospital and in ICUs are people that's unvaccinated. But just because you have the shots don't mean you won't catch it, but it will stop you from going into the hospital and being critical. So, and if,
I do know I have talked to some people and have kind of, it's been communicated with me that people who have been vaccinated are experiencing almost less than a common cold,
exactly,
especially those that don't have, say, like pre-existing conditions or anything going on already. So the vaccination, it's doing its job.
exactly.
Okay. Well, we appreciate you giving us the update, man. We'll hope to hear from you next week, and prayerfully, hopefully, we have better news.
Yes, sir. Y'all have a good evening.
You
You
too, man.
too.
All right. We thank Mr. Thomas Worthy for that COVID update, informing us um, to kind of make us aware of how things are going right here in Etowah County. We ask that you all take that information and share it and, prepare accordingly. Tonight we have special guest, Mr. Joseph Cole. He's actually um, a community activist he's one that you really want to get in the trenches with. So we're going to bring him on at this time. Welcome, Mr. Joseph Cole. How you doing, man?
Good evening, sir, and good evening, Bishop T. It's
Thank
glad,
you. Good evening to you. Glad to have you on.
I'm honored to be here, and I want to say to both of you, you're doing a great service to the community, and just
Thank
keep
you.
up the good work.
Thank you. Thank you so much.
We appreciate you. We appreciate you, man. Listen, um, let's just get down to it. We're on real talk. And let me tell you right now, real talk is real talk. We
Okay.
real is real talk.
Well, I'm accustomed to that.
Okay, all right. Well, we know that quite often you are invited, and you're gonna have quite a few questions. Miss Reba already have some questions for you
Okay.
in our comments. But quite often people contact you to get you to handle some issues right here in Etowah County. Now, you are from Etowah County, right?
That is correct, sir. The great city of Gadsden
Okay. Where do you presently reside?
in Atlanta, Georgia. The city too busy to hate.
So my question to you is, why is it? Why do you feel that people constantly call you to make that trip 2 hours away to handle some things in Gadsden? Share that. Share that. Why do you feel that they have you to come before the city council? I've seen you before the city council several times. I've seen you before the school board several times. You would get on the agenda. You would make your statements to those in pre-council and those uh, during the board meeting. And you've been asked to sit down. uh, you've been they've been threatened to send the police up there, the police chief to throw you out of meetings. And so you blazing the trail. So tell us, why is it that they call Mr. Joseph Cole way in Atlanta to come to Gadsden to handle some issues?
Well, I guess it has a lot to do with my history. I was born and reared in Gadsden, went to high school in Gadsden, worked in Gadsden, and I just always had a strong connection with the people. When I started out, I had no way of knowing that I would have been involved with the SCLC or any other group, but I have always been one to speak out. And I guess my speaking out and trying to help and trying to do things has stuck with me. I know there are other organizations in the city, and times when people call me, I ask them, have they contacted these organizations or contacted certain people? But for some reason, I don't know. They just want me to come. And if it's a possibility that I can come, and if it's something that I can do, I'm going to do. I feel like I won't say like some people, that's my calling. But if I'm called upon, if I'm able to assist in a matter, I will do it. I try to stay away from gas, and sometimes I get a little upset. I say I'm not coming back. I'm gonna let the people go. But when I call and hear the distress that some of these people are going through, I don't mind coming, and I guess that will continue.
Okay. Ms. Reba makes the statement that you are asking some serious questions that the council do not want to answer.
Well, that's true, and to be blunt about it, they do tell lies. Many things they tell me, I know it's untrue because I have a way of getting facts from the right sources, and I don't come up there making statements out of the blue. I know what I'm saying. And just to give you an example, Pastor Huff, I received a call about, as I mentioned, they did not get the holiday for Juneteenth. So I text the council members, and I have a copy of the text in case someone said they didn't receive it. And in that text, I was wondering why they did not, you know, the workers did not get the holiday pay for Juneteenth. And I said, Juneteenth is a special day. That's when the last blacks, the last slaves, learned that they was now free and that the Civil War was over. So this is really special. And when I heard this, I texted him, and to her credit, the president of the council informed me that it was too late to do anything about it for 2021, but they would do it for 2022. So I was under the impression that when they did their budget, it would come up in the budget. But it did not come up in the budget. And I further learned, Pastor Huff, and when they had the budget hearing, neither one of the three black council members brought up Juneteenth for a holiday. Neither of the three. This was at the meeting of all of them with the budget. And I was informed by someone who was in the meeting. They was waiting for one of the blacks to bring it up.
Why was they waiting though?
Well,
If they know it's the right thing to do, why? And here's my issue. And I know Bishop has something she want to say, but here's my issue. If you know it's the right thing to do, why are you waiting on someone that is real sensitive to bring it up? Because we always want to play the race card.
True.
We're always playing the race card. So it would, to me, come better from someone that wasn't affected by it versus someone that is. Because if you give me something, I deserve it, and this is something passionate to me, I would rather you just give it to me than to sit there and say, well, we was waiting, but this was a holiday.
True.
So if this was made a holiday, you don't have to wait. Just do the right thing. That's the problem that I have with people saying you was waiting. Don't give me that. I mean, I understand you saying, well, the three blacks, you feel that probably should have said something. But I'm also saying the mayor knows this. The white councilmen know this. Why one of them didn't bring it up?
Because you're in Gadsden, Alabama. See, that's why I don't let that perturb me, because I know those things will happen and they will continue to happen. I may have been at a meeting sitting hoping that the mayor or one of the white council members bring it up. And in the fact that they didn't, I would have brought it up then. See, it's going to always be that way in Gadsden, because people hate to bring the race part in it, but it's very much part of everything you do in Gadsden. You look at the areas of the city, the most area, the one that's taking place, looks better, everything. And just give you a classic example. This, I'm moving from that, but I'm coming back to it. The East Gadsden Community Center, they've been working on that since 2018. They built Marana Park, they did all of these things, and they still working on a community center in Gadsden, Alabama, that's in a predominantly black district. And all kind of lies. The man stood up there Tuesday, gave all the things, this state-of-the-art $5 million building. He still could not tell what date or either what month that it would open. And we just have to sit up and wait. And no one says anything about it. They just go on, they tell lies, and people try to compliment them. And it's just the way things are. But getting back to the main issue, you are correct. It shouldn't wait for anyone. They don't wait on other things. Someone should have made the move. It's a national holiday. The Senate, House voted on it. The president signed it. So all they had to do was let's vote to do this. Any one of the seven could have done it. Should have done it. I'm in total agreement with you on that.
Because you're trying to do this for the city workers, right?
Correct.
Okay, so we don't want the city workers just to bash the three African Americans that sit on the council. You got a mayor and several councilmen that you need to hold responsible for you not receiving a national holiday.
He lost his sound, I think. Why is he back? Are you back? Did you lose it?
Let me talk until I can get the picture.
Come on.
You want me to continue speaking because something happened to the picture.
Something happened to his picture. Let me ask this, Pastor Z. Let me ask this. If we can, because I know some of our viewers,
go ahead. We'll mute them.
Some of our viewers are familiar with him being at the council meeting and what went on. And then some people may have seen it on his Facebook page. But I think we need to kind of let some of our people know kind of what the issue was. I know we kind of jumped in based on a question, but I don't know that everybody on tonight even knows what the main purpose for him being here was, because he kind of jumped in based on that question. So I didn't want any of the viewers to be lost as to what the issue what the issue was, or what his purpose for
Okay.
being there was.
Now, do you wanna share that, or you want?
No, go ahead. Go
Okay.
ahead. I just wanted to make sure that everybody knew what he was talking about and what he's speaking in reference of.
Okay. So what happened is, and we're gonna bring Mr. Cole back in just a few minutes. He having some issues. He went before the council to talk about Juneteenth. Of course, he shared that the employees there at the city are receiving holiday pay and being off on Juneteenth.
So they don't let them off for the holiday? Is that what?
Well, what happened? They didn't do it this past year.
Okay.
And you know, Biden did that at the last minute. I will say that. He
Right.
did it at the last minute. So because even I didn't know we was off. We found out after we got off work that he had signed it into action. And I was going to be late that Monday for work. And I called my lead man on his cell phone, and he told me that Biden sent something out late Friday saying that we was going to be off for Juneteenth. So, you know, he was at the golf course at the time, and I was like, okay, well, I can go back to bed, you know. So let's see if we can get him back on. Are you there now, Mr. Cole?
I am here.
Can you see us?
No, I can't see you, but I can continue to talk until we get the picture if you want me to.
Okay.
I hear you.
Okay, let's get you back.
Okay, I see Bishop T.
You do?
I see Bishop T.
Are you on? What are you on?
My phone.
Your
my
phone?
iPhone. Yeah.
Do you have it horizontal or vertical?
What's
You
that?
got it vertical.
Vertical.
You
I
got
see
it
you
vertical.
though. I see you.
Turn it horizontal and see
Okay,
if it changes it.
Oh, so horizontal, horizon. That's vertical. I turned it up, then I turned it back. I can
No.
see you, but I can't see Pastor.
Did you, when you turned it sideways, could you see both of us?
No, I just see one.
Okay.
I can see her both times I turn. But
Okay. Do me a favor.
Okay.
Cover your right eye.
All right.
Let me ask you something.
We'll give you an eye exam.
Listen, sir, let me ask you this.
You don't have to see me.
Do you have the escape? Do you have do you see escape on there for like
He
full
got his
screen?
grandson helping
I
him
got my
out.
grandson. See, I'm technological deficit on this, so
Just get him in. Just get him in the phone, and we can go on. We're fine. You know.
Okay.
You know.
Come on, let's see what you can do. I don't know what happened. We got part of it.
Okay. 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 You're fine, Mr. Cole. Can you hear us?
Yes, I can hear you.
Okay. Just lean back in your chair a little bit.
Okay.
There you go. That way you ain't cutting your head off. All right. So here we go. Mr. Cole.
Yes.
While you was off, we had Bishop T. Bishop T was trying to bring the people up to speed.
Right.
To what really took place, and why you're on the show tonight. We read your long post that you posted about appearing before the city council, and you were sharing with them concerning your concern about Juneteenth, the holiday. And of course, you may mention that it was too late to try to get them on or give them the holiday last year. But your question was they preparing to give them the holiday this year?
That is correct.
They went before you went before people that knew that the council peoples had went before and discussed in the budget. It's not in the budget that anybody brought up the fact that they wanted to give the employees at the city Juneteenth as a holiday, right?
That's correct.
And you also brought up about the community center being started building in 2018, and they're yet to open it up and don't know when they're going to open up. And that's when you was asked by some of the council members or one of the council members to sit down, and they tried to quiet you during the meeting. Am I correct?
That is correct.
Okay, now continue to share with us what was your statement, how everything went at the city at the council meeting.
You know what disturbed me about that, Pastor Z and Bishop T, is I don't come down there for trouble to start anything, whether people think so or not. But for Councilman Williams to tell me to sit down, I was one of the original people who signed the lawsuit to change the form of government from mayor commission to mayor council. So I'm one of the reasons that he has his seat, the blacks and the whites both, because of the suit that was filed. And he's going to disrespect me and tell me to sit down, you know, like I'm a child. And no one is going to do that ever. Him, the mayor, and anyone else, if it comes to that.
Let me ask you a question.
Yes.
Let me ask a question right there. Okay, so there is a particular space in council meeting where citizens or whoever is given the space to speak.
Well, let me explain that. See, that's a major problem that I have tried to get them to rectify for years. See, they said people need to come down there, but the process is so you have to either go to the city or fill out a form of what you want to speak about. You have to do it before Friday noon that you want to be on the council for that following Tuesday or pre-council. It's not open up in most places. Normally, you can go to a council meeting. They have you to put your name on the list, those who want to speak, and you're allowed to speak. So if something happened in your community Friday night or Saturday, and you want to come before the council to present it, you cannot.
You got to wait.
You got to wait till the following Tuesday, and you got to do a form. They make it difficult for the people. Instead of making it easier for folks, they don't want people up there because all they do is vote to tear down houses, and after that, they get their behinds out and go to lunch. So they don't want to really hear the people. Normally, you may get one or two individuals speaking. They give you 5 minutes, and people are really feel uncomfortable about coming up there and feel fearful too, because these people are very vindictive. They really don't want anyone to come up there to say anything to them, but they can't do anything to me. See, I can deal with that. But
so you went through the process.
Yes, I always go through the process.
That's what I was trying to get at. You went through the process.
Correct.
You were asked by a councilman to sit down.
That is correct.
Now here's the thing that now and watch this. Now Ms. Reba said that your 5 minutes was up, and you tried.
No, it was not. I didn't even use my full 5 minutes.
Okay, and so you was trying to get answers.
Correct. I was waiting on the answers to my questions.
And they asked you to sit down.
Yes, Councilman Williams said they want to talk it over, and Mr. Cole can sit down, but Mr. Cole was not going to sit down.
Said that
they want everything quiet. They don't want to be challenged on any of the things that they do not do, Pastor Huff. And that's very sad. And that's why people don't want to go up there, because you look like you lambasted. She made the statement, you come up here, and some people heard her say that you don't have the nuts. The people don't have the nuts. She changed and said guts. But it was stated. She changed and said guts to come up there. So I have to come up there.
I wasn't ready.
You're going to take that show because I done went to a whole nother level.
I apologize.
I'm gone.
Well, it's real talk. I mean.
And don't you do a video on this. She said you don't have the nuts.
And then guts. Yeah, the people did, not me, but the people don't have the nuts to come up. Guts to come up there and speak. So they called me.
Wait a minute.
He said guts. I think he said guts. You said guts, right, with a G?
It was nuts with the N and then guts with the G. Yeah, she changed it.
Somebody give me an Ursha. I need
two.
Now there's some people who heard it, and they can let you know that I'm not making this up.
Well, Reba says she did say it. Well,
That's a fact.
He's in my district.
Okay.
She in my district.
Okay.
of course. You running? You
Wait a
running?
minute.
You
Wait a
know
minute.
you had it in
Wait a
dog.
minute.
Yeah, dog. Yeah.
Boy, at the end of the day, integrity.
Right.
You should have some integrity.
True.
If you're sitting on the council, there ought to be a certain um level of respect of who comes up there, and you ought to keep your integrity in it.
That's true.
Whether it was nuts or guts, either one of them. And if you were gonna say nuts, you might as well say what it is.
I'm
True.
Ball.
saved. I don't use that word. I'm saved.
Well, either way it goes, she
I
decided
can't.
to use it.
Now
There's
you
a
two.
level of
I'm
integrity.
praying. I'm praying for both of y'all. Y'all using that
You
word.
praying for who?
Both of y'all.
Listen,
My ears hear no evil.
boy.
But you know, Pastor Huff, on that statement, I understand what you're saying. But I think people been doing a lot of praying, and they need to get up off their knees and start walking and start doing some things. Because prayer alone is not the answer. Prayer without works is dead. You can pray to hell
All right.
freeze over, but if you don't have any works to go with those prayers, nothing's going to happen.
All
And
right,
we
Deacon
have some of the
JT.
praying folks in gas and everything I see on Facebook, they praying. But I believe that's all they doing because things haven't changed. And I wonder who are they praying to. So I'm not trying to be smart, but you got to put some legs on these prayers. You got these organizations. If I'm up there speaking about the Juneteenth and other things, where is the president and the members of the National Association for the Advancement of Colored People, the NAACP, the SCLC, the Voters League? We soon gonna have an election. Where are these people? That there isn't anything keeping them from going up there. But when I come, everyone wants to castigate me for coming, and I'm going to continue to come so they can just and I may start coming every week. So I don't let people bulldoze me or prevent me from doing what I know is right to do.
So how did it turn out that he said for you to say? What did he actually say to you when you was talking?
Well, he came back and apologized.
But
See,
what did he actually say? Because see, the problem. See, my issue is you
They
did
not
it.
professional either. They
You
very
did it,
unprofessional.
and the damage already been done. So
right.
because they weren't finna let you come back up there, and they wasn't finna answer your questions, right?
That's correct.
Okay. So what did he say while you was talking?
No, he didn't say anything. When I told him that I was not going to sit down, I was going to wait for the response, and I was waiting on the response. Then he let it go. He didn't say anything after then. But afterwards, when the engineer came up there, I was still waiting. So the president said, "Well, Mr. Cole, if you sit down, the engineer is going to come and answer your question." So that's when I went to sit down because I was waiting to get answers, and the answers I got was not satisfactory either from them on Juneteenth or either from the engineer about when this place was going to open. It's sad. They just do us any kind of way. The first contract, they let somebody there who didn't have any business there. They just do us like they want to do us, and we supposed to say thank you and accept it. 4 years, we waiting on the community center to open, and they still cannot open it. I was there in 2020. I was told that the center would be open the latter part of 2020 or early 2021. Well, there was a pandemic and COVID in 2021, but it didn't stop construction. Construction was going on everywhere, and we still don't have a building over there for the people. It's
Yeah.
sad. It's
So
sad.
do you think
Sir.
He's having connection problems.
Okay.
Okay, so yeah, I don't even know if others can. If you can still hear me and Mr. Cole, give me somebody put it in the chat if you can still hear us. Because I don't have control over the panel. So uh okay, they hear us.
Okay,
So
okay,
just go ahead and he'll correct whatever is going on his end.
okay. But see, that is the primary issue. All we asking them to do is do the things that they supposed to do. Not asking them for anything special, but just do what you're supposed to do. There are people who have died waiting on that center to open over in East Gadsden. And it's sad. It's very, very sad. And here we want to recognize Juneteenth will be coming on in about 5 months. And they have not even met, supposedly, that's what they said, to even get this done. They could do it in one of their meetings. It doesn't take that long. They have a 7-member board up there. They could do it at any time. They do everything else they want to do. So why do you have to discuss this when it's a national holiday? And the state of Alabama recognizes it. So what is Gadsden waiting on to go ahead and accept it, make it right? I don't understand that. I don't understand the process.
So did you ever get an answer to it or to what the issue was, the reason the center hasn't opened? Did they ever give you anything concrete as to why it hasn't opened?
Well, it's a lot of things they do, and they want to make sure everything is right. It's supposed to be a state of the art building, if only one like it, and they have to do this. They have nothing concrete. There wasn't anything
So they're
concrete.
not still working on the building. There's still no construction going on in the
No,
building.
they doing some things inside, video, audio, visuals, all these different things. They trying to get that together. Supposedly, I can see you now, Pastor Z.
Something happened here with a power shortage. I don't know what went on.
Okay.
All the power went out here
Oh,
in my studio and came back on. I guess the router and all that had to reboot. I'm
okay.
surprised y'all are still on, but I'm
Yeah,
glad.
because we on through you. Unless
Yeah, that was shocking to me that
well, the link, I guess we on
Well,
the
y'all
link.
may not want to have me on again. You gonna get disrupted.
well, you always things always happen when you come around.
Oh,
So you felt like, did you think that Councilman Williams was kind of get irritated because he is the councilman in that district and that community center hadn't opened it up yet? The reason
Yes,
why he was asking you to sit down.
yes, yes. I do believe that.
why are they so? I mean, why are they so? What's the word? I mean, where they can't take anything. Why do you run for a public office and serve in that office and feel like you will not be held accountable by the people who elected you to be there? I mean, I just don't understand the issues with this council. Everything is like they can't deal with people calling, they can't deal with questions, they can't,
You're so
it's
true.
something wrong with that.
That's correct.
These are elected officials.
What is wrong with asking when is the center going to open? That's all I asked. I didn't want the history and all. Just want I said, give me a date. What month? A tentative date. What month is it going to open? And now we in the first month of this year, and they still cannot give a time on when the center is going to open. It doesn't make sense. But if it had been down on Rainbow Drive up on the mountain, it's been open quite a while ago. But they do us like they do us like they want to do us, and our folks take it. They don't protest. The councilman, whatever they tell them up there, they pat them on the head, say, "Go on, boy," and they do what they said do. But I'm not that way, and I never will be that way. And they up there representing the people who put them in office. So at least I will be pushing that. My folks want to know, when are you going to open? Give me a tentative date. They side with the people. They don't say anything at all.
Pastor Z, when you see those comments with I can, I was trying to make sure that he and I was still heard by the people. When you see
Yes,
those,
yes, I saw that. Um, so let's go to let's talk about because they're saying that a lot of people are saying that they're rude, they're threatening to kick people out. And I have a question. I mean, why is it that Deborah even asked you or said anything to you? Because he's not even the president of the council. The president of the council is the one pretty much moderates and take take charge of what needs to happen. So like I said, even though you said he apologized, the damage already been done.
Right.
And I've seen a lot of that take place in those council meetings. So you did serve as the SCLC president in the past.
Yes, sir, I did.
What years was you president?
I was president from I think 77 to 81
Okay.
during
We
that time frame.
we came across a picture on your page when you was much younger. And we saw some ministers like the late William Fleming,
Yes,
Reverend William.
yes,
Now, was he like your vice or something at the time?
yes. He was. He was our executive director.
Right. We saw Theodore Mitchell.
Yeah,
And
Reverend
I know
Mitchell was
you
there.
told me in the past that a lot of the ministers, along with my father, was really worked really well with you.
Very, very active. Reverend Lynch, all of the ministers was very active.
Oh, hey,
And the thing that got me, here I am, I'm looking upon them, all them, I looked upon all them as leaders. But they looked upon me and put, well, you the leader, you go on. And they supported me 100%.
Yeah.
I could have mass meeting at the church when I was there. Reverend Fleming, Reverend Screw, all of the minister, all of them. They were just we were just together on that. Really, we were just and March went to City Hall. We got locked up. Well, we went to lock up the go in the mayor's office and lock ourselves in. And so, as you know, they didn't have cell phones then. But before we could get out the meeting, somebody had called and let the white folks know what we was gonna do. So we went up on the second floor, the mayor's office. They had SWAT team up there, Reverend. And that's one day I thought that was it for us. Cause they had us surrounded. And Reverend Hosea Williams was there. And he went down the hall and he got in one of the captain's face and put his finger all up in the man's hand. I was standing there behind him. I know gunshot was I just closed my eyes because I knew that was it. But for some reason, the Lord protected us. We walked out of there just like we walked in. But the people was bold, and even kids, teenagers. It was we were just all together, and you can do things when you're together. But now our city, among our black leaders, it just everybody pulling all type of ways instead of pulling together.
I
And I
need
get
to ask why you right there, why you talking about that. Who
yeah,
is the president of SCLC now and NAACP?
Marcia Kendricks is the president of the SCLC,
Okay.
and Elaine Spearman is the president of the NAACP. Elaine Harris Spearman. Those are our presidents now. And I think Mary Christopher Kelly is the president of the Voters League,
Well,
Etowah County Voters League. And if you notice, it's all women as president, which is good, but our men need to be around somewhere too. But that's it. I get calls and I try to give people the information to well, I gave a call a lady to call the NAACP and she said to call, but the mailbox was full. So, if you're going to have an office, at least you need to check the call. So people need help. And you're supposed to be there to give some assistance. And I guess that's why they call me, and I can't do any more than anyone else, but I will speak up and I'll check into the things, that they want done. So, it is what it is. And I won't deter, I will continue to do that. I'm not saying it's my call, I will continue to do that. We have a mayor's race coming up, and I know there are two, possibly four blacks that's going to be running, two other individuals, think about it. So we never would get a black mayor. Somebody said, what makes a difference? At some point in time, blacks can do what whites can do, and they can even do it better. But we need to be given that opportunity. But we cannot do that when everybody's pulling different ways. And it's just really sad that we just cannot come together and do things, at least for our folks. Not saying just be in the middle. Let's do things for our folks. We got issues in our neighborhood. We understand that. But we should be able to come together to try to deal with these issues.
Well, let me say this, because I've been on record by saying this, and it's not popular, but I stand on this.
Mm-hmm.
People want to know, why do you want a black mayor?
Mm-hmm.
Here's the reason why we say give us an opportunity to add it.
Correct.
Because we're in the areas that get the least attention.
Correct.
And as long as you are putting people there that can care less about our community would never come up.
That's correct.
And so it leads me to say this. We've witnessed where we've had the majority and we've had African Americans as councils, and we still is not getting the attention that we deserve.
That's correct.
So it's not so important just to have an African American
Right.
as a mayor
Yeah,
versus having the right person.
right.
That's
And
correct.
whether it's white or black, put
Correct.
the right person in there
Correct.
that's going to love on all of Gadsden, that don't mind going in the Mill Village and on Tuscaloosa Avenue,
Correct.
going down into what we call West Gadsden, what we call Flatwood area,
Flatwood, right.
you know, and going up to Oakland Estates,
Correct.
and riding up through there, and you know, going into the places that need attention. I say this about the school system, and I've said it publicly, that Brown, everybody know Brown is our model school.
Model school, right.
Okay, they are a school.
Right.
When you go to therapy,
Mm-hmm.
you give attention to the areas that are weak,
Right.
or hurt.
Correct.
If you have a model school with an A, then you need to be going down to the F and D schools, and let's bring all schools up on a level playing field.
Correct.
So people won't be trying to transfer just to the A school.
Correct.
What they'll discover that I don't have to transfer to U Brown because the curriculum and the same effort that is being given at one school is given to all schools.
All schools.
So if I transfer from Stripling, I can go to Thompson and go to Adams and Donahue and get the same attention if everybody was on the same level playing field.
That is correct.
And nothing changes.
That is
but
correct.
Everybody want to go to the model school because it appeared to be the school that is doing the best.
That's correct.
Let me ask a question, and this real talk, and I hope don't nobody know my email, know my cell phone number to be texting me. Why do we transfer? What made U Brown the model school? Here has been my issue from even when I was in education. We would rather transfer to U Brown than to stay where we are and make those that be, the powers that be, do right by that school.
That's correct.
Again, that means that we're going to have to be in principal's face. We're going to have to be in the superintendent's face and whoever the powers may be. We would rather transfer. How did U Brown or whatever school get to be the model school? We have to stay where we are and demand that our kids be treated and taught on the same level, that they receive the same materials. When we had Mr. Reddick on last week, you mentioned when we were in school, things that were going on. But at the same time, our parents were determined that they were in those principals' face, they were in those teachers' face, whatever needed to be done. And at that time, there were some racial things that would kind of slip in.
Right.
Like you say something about a dog or something like that. And we would go home and the same day, our parents were on the phone, or the next day they were at that school. Is that going on today, or are we just transferring our kids to U Brown? How did U Brown get to be that school? I'm sure those parents.
And that's key, what you said, parent involvement.
Got to
Parent
be.
involvement. Now you go down to U of Brown, and because I'm on the board, you go to U of Brown, you got to walk from Martin's if you get there. If you don't get there before the meeting on time, you got to walk from Martin's to get
Okay.
in U of Brown
Okay,
because they
Okay.
packed out with parents that supports
that's
the
correct.
system.
Right.
That's
PTSO meetings,
that's
but
correct.
then let you go, let your cousin, Principal Maxwell, try to have a PTSO meeting at Thompson, and you got 5 folks show up. You see what I'm saying? You don't have people, and people get upset when you tell the hard truths. But if you had parent involvement, when you have people that are showing up for the PTSOs, hey, let me show you something. The environment is everything. See, you have people in country club area and all that attends U of Brown. I'm keeping it real. You got
Right.
doctors and lawyers who's raising doctors and lawyers. They're going to make sure their children become successful because they already have put themselves in position to be successful. So they're going to pour everything they got into U of Brown. You follow what I'm saying?
Right.
Where you have broken homes, one parent that's working, sometime that's their excuse, while the child is home doing homework and needing to do homework. And then it didn't help in the past when we had different administration as at the school system, that you didn't have everything you need to take home.
Correct.
You didn't have after school programs. You didn't have the tutoring and the mentoring that you have now. That you have now. You know, you didn't have that stuff then, and so therefore, it was, people was just satisfied with dropping out and able to go to Tyson's and all these other places where other people was inspired to go to universities to get their degrees and to follow in their parents' footsteps, and but now we're at a point where you can't get in a chicken plant uh unless you at least got a GED.
That's true.
But when I was in school, everybody worked at Tyson's. They was quitting school to go to Tyson's, you know what I'm saying? And that was the thing, I can get a job there if I can't get a job nowhere, but we're trying, but people would transfer their kids because they feel like the best of everything is there at that school. And it's, they're different
And they really don't.
supported school.
Here's what I have witnessed. And they don't change when they take them to U of Brown.
Right.
No, they
Most
don't.
of those parents are not any more involved there than they are if they are somewhere else. They're not any more involved. But you said something that I think also, it's kind of like when COVID hit 2 years ago, or what, however long, 20. Okay, it exposed a lot of the shortcomings, whether it was economical, whether it was medical, that people, black and brown people, have experienced. It exposed a lot of flaws in a lot of systems. So you said something. The average uh, black and brown home, there's one parent, and most of the time that parent is working. It's like a domino effect. There are other things that have to be fixed or that need to be fixed and brought attention to for certain things to be where they need to be, if you understand what I'm saying. I don't feel like every uh, black and brown home, the parent is just neglecting to be at the school. There are some legitimate reasons why they cannot attend the PTSO meeting or whatever it is. And because, like you said, there's one parent. So maybe that one parent does have to work. So to me, there's a whole lot that factors into the reason why some of our parents are not where they should be. And just at the end of the day, some of it is because they don't, they just, they it's easier. It's easy if I can put my child over here and know that this is going to happen, this is going to happen, they're going to be taught, they're going to be whatever. It takes effort and it is challenging. It takes tenacity and courage for people.
I would like to share something with you all. I taught school here in Atlanta, and I taught high school. And one of my classes, I taught U.S. law, and we had like the AP course. We had the AP class. We had students in the AP class, and the teacher was teaching a U.S. law class. I had the other students. I had three classes, and everybody know those students were supposed to be better. So I told them at the end of the semester we was gonna have a law bowl between my students and the AP students. And I told my students, I'll be in boastful, I did. I said, you're going to do better because you have the best teacher in the school teaching you. And the best teacher teaches the best students. So if you work hard, you're going to show all of these students just what work you can do. And I was a teacher that stayed in contact with their parents. If somebody was not there, I go to the homes. I went in some real rough areas here in this city that where no other teacher at the school would go, but I went there because I was concerned about the student. Those students worked hard. I mean, worked very hard. And at the end of the school year, we had a law bowl between the students from my class and the AP class, and they ran circles around there.
Mm,
See, teachers have to care too. It's just not can't put it all on the parents. A whole lot of goes to the parents. Now, don't get me wrong. They have,
right.
but we as teachers, if you have teachers who really don't care about the child, we here, we gonna get paid. We do such and such a thing, and least thing they do, they putting them out. I In the years that I taught in Birmingham, I taught at Ramsey High School in Birmingham, and I taught here. During the years that I taught, I only sent two students to the office. That was not a thing I did. I took care of my own situation. And one student I sent was a white student, one of the best students, and this was at Ramsey in the school. But he took indifference to me sending him to the office. So I sent him to the office. The counselor sent him back up there. So he stepped back in the room. I said, "Where are you going?" He said, "Well, the counselor told me to come back." I said, "You're not coming back in here because I put you out. You going somewhere, but you're not staying in here." And I went and saw her afterwards to let her know, if I send a student to you, you keep him. You don't send him back, because that's disrespect to me, and that let the students know they can do what they want to do. So a teacher has to take charge of their class and be responsible, and they can't make excuses. I didn't deal with excuses. You have to call parents. They doing the little text and now and the things they do. But I called the parents. I would go to the parents' home if there was a problem. If somebody was out a number of days, I want to know what the problem was. Not saying you can do all that now, but the teachers see, if I was teaching in Gadsden, I would not want to teach at Uriel Brown or Mitchell. Put me in one of these other schools, because I want to show you what I believe I can do with these students if I get the cooperation from and I'm gonna get cooperation from the parents. If I have the support of the system, my principal and all that, there are certain standards these students gonna have to do. The parents gonna know it, and they gonna know it. I had rules, and the parents was aware of it. So sometimes the teachers have to step up. But when you have teachers, and I'm not judging anyone, but when you have someone that's a different color than I am and don't even stay in the same area, stay in other counties, other places, and they come and teaching, they gonna do so much. I'm not charging all of them because I know how it is. But you have to let the child know you care. And if they know you care, they'll do something. They don't think you give a D, then the student gonna do what they want to do.
Well,
They'll
well,
do what you
well. The
want to do.
thing is, if you got parents that don't care and don't act like they care and don't keep up with what they supposed to
What
keep
you
up with,
doomed then. You
then
doomed.
your child feel like they getting by.
That's true.
Until see, I'm gonna tell you something. My daddy worked all the time. My daddy was a pastor. He ran revivals. He worked at steel mill.
Mm-hmm.
My mom was a stay-home mom.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, you didn't come in the house not
Mm-hmm.
doing no homework.
Mm-hmm.
You see what I'm saying?
Right.
That was just it.
Right.
And they want to know, you got homework, you got
That's
report
right.
cards. They stayed on top of it. And nowadays we have apps that you can look at grades. You know what's going on as parents, and they're making things pretty much so easy now.
Convenience.
Yeah,
Convenience.
and convenient now. that no way you can be missing out.
Right.
It shouldn't be a surprise. Like back in the day, I heard some horror stories about the late Miss Mildred Donald, yanking folks out of the line on graduation day, letting them know you ain't graduating. She will wait to graduation day, walk up to you while you there in your cap and gown, and say, "Hey, you step on out the line because you ain't graduating."
Wow.
That was back in the day.
Okay.
Nowadays, you should not be surprised if you're graduating or not. You ought to know that.
You know. They
Period.
know.
Bishop, you had something you was finna share. I saw
Yeah,
you.
he was saying to what Mr. Cole was saying. I often think about desegregation and what desegregation, what the desire for desegregation was. It it wasn't so much to be brought together, but it was for equality.
Equality.
We said it last week. If the white schools got the good books or got top, do the same thing
right
at the black schools.
Right.
And I agree with, I say that with Mr. Cole, because I don't feel like all Caucasian teachers are bad, but there are those that don't live in that neighborhood, that don't know the experience of some of those kids, and you can tell it. I taught school. You can tell it. It is obvious. And so when you sit your child there, that's why, and I don't know, and I know we're saying a lot, but what do we do to get to the point, or what's the campaign? What's the next step to get parents involved? I don't care what we say, there's gonna always be a group of parents that's gonna leave the responsibility to somebody else.
That's true.
But what is it that we do that we can pull parents together, get parents more involved? And we're talking about education, but all of it has a domino effect.
Right.
Yeah.
From the
In order to make this city a better city, first of all, they say it start with the educational system.
That's true.
We will forgotten, and let me say this to what you said, Bishop. I believe, the white listeners is on our program. I don't want you to think we're coming off as being racist or bashing white people, but she said something that is very true. That a lot of time we discredit or we look down on Black and brown people, as myself, wanting what we want, wanting what we deserve, getting the same thing that everybody getting, and people come off as if that's a racial show or whatever. It's not a racial show. If you never lived in my neighborhood,
thank you.
Okay, if you never lived in my neighborhood, live where I live, if you never experienced what I have experienced, you can't understand what I'm talking about. It's just like I say to someone who have lost their mother, what if as a pastor, what if I say to them, I know how you feel? No, you don't. You don't know how they feel because you still have your mother. Until you experience exactly what I have experienced, you do not know where I'm coming from. You do not know what I'm talking about. And if the roles was reversed, if we was getting everything brand new, we taking the plastic off of stuff, and all you getting things with pages missing, or broken screens on your laptop, really, would you sit back and be okay with that? Or would you really demand to get what you deserve? I'm a part of the Gadsden City School system, and I'm a product of it. And being a product of it, then if my neighbor got something brand new, then by God, I deserve something brand new. Don't let me have what you don't want. I don't want what you don't want.
And while you're at that point, let me say this as well. If it's going to be real talk, it's going to be real talk.
Yeah.
And if it's gonna be real talk, then there are issues in our communities that have to be addressed, and they have to be addressed for what they are,
Right.
for what it is. If we and I don't want to sound offensive, but if we can discuss these other issues that benefit other communities, then we also have to discuss issues that take place in the Black and brown community. And I'm sorry, I wish everybody was on the up and up, Black and brown, white, whatever. But it's not that way. It is not that way. And if this platform is going to be the platform that discusses some things, then we have to go across the board and discuss them for what they are and expose whatever needs to be exposed to move from where we are to where we desire to be.
You know, if you listen to the council meetings, do you not remember when they was on a virtual meeting, even over down in Walnut Park area? And it's not just the blacks; it's the whites too. There's some white people who are struggling that's not getting the attention they deserve.
Right.
You heard Johnny Cannon, Councilman Cannon, attack Wilson. Mm-hmm. Remember, he made a statement about voting on something, and he wasn't voting on it. He feel like his people down in Walnut Park deserve just as much as those in the historic community area. And Turretine and all this, and that's when they got into it and got into it. Everybody deserved the same in gas, and that has been the problem. We have, even when you start seeing in promotions, certain people, the rich get richer and the poor get poor. How can we make Etowah County a better county? And that's what upset me with the African-American councilmen, those that voted against what Worthy was trying to get done. That really made me ill because they say he didn't play politics well. They know every last one of those council persons don't roll down, them African-American council persons, when we had the majority, have rolled down Tuscaloosa Avenue. They'll roll down the areas that he was trying to get some things done, and they don't use Carver. He was trying to get a stage out there, and they voted it down all because they were going along with what the mayor wanted, and they was mad at Thomas for voting against the budget, and he voted against the budget because he didn't like the fact that they was taking money away from the school system, and so it made me upset that you would think that's so low because this man didn't agree with the mayor and what he was doing, that you will vote against anything happening for our community. That doesn't make sense to me. You can't make me make sense out of something that is nonsense. It's crazy. May I
inject something?
Yes.
It's a poor city that doesn't support the school board. I have never seen a city defund money to go to the schools. All these places trying to put more money in the schools. How are you going to draw people to come to your city to go to school? And they taking money. You increase money. They should be giving the school system, more money each year for the schools, but they don't. And speaking of, when there was 4 blacks on the city council, they control the budget. And if the mayor had wanted something, you got 4 votes to get everything you want. Well, Mr. Mayor, you want this, we want this over here. They let the mayor run everything. When there was 4 blacks on the council, they did everything the mayor wanted. They didn't stand up and do anything, and they had the votes to spend money anywhere they wanted to do, and they didn't do it. 4 votes. They had 4 blacks on that council.
But
they did nothing in Tuscaloosa and nowhere else.
But you actually had one. To be honest with you, you actually had one. That's why I say you got to have the right people in place.
That's true. They just can't be black.
Because let me tell you something. I'm tired of hearing people say we need a black this, a black that, a black that. The wrong black one. It hurts you more. It hurts you more to put somebody black in there that go in there, you think you're going to do the right thing, and hell, they do something with the other folks.
That's
It
true.
doesn't make sense. You know our community need help.
Well,
And you sit there and you vote against what we need in our community. Like this man right here, petty. That's the new word, petty. Small-minded, visionless leaders is our problem. Period. Thank you, Advanced Eddie Wall, for saying it better than I could ever think it.
but that's true.
Petty. And
That's
you know what they say when you say something to them? This is what they say. Well, Mr. Worthy, Thomas Worthy don't know how to play politics. If you vote against something that the mayor won't, he won't give you something you want. Now, if that ain't petty, you tell me.
That's true.
And everybody and our people suffer from you being petty.
Okay.
You know, you see what I'm saying?
I do. Exactly.
And so my question is this. Is there any hope for the future? We know that the city hall, we don't know how different it's going to look, but we expect it to look different.
Right.
Okay? We expect it to look different. We don't know who's going to return.
We don't have it look different.
Well, right. So is there any hope? Do you think even a change of people going into City Hall, because it's different than it was when I was coming up, what Steve means?
Right.
So, but it looks like even though it changes, faces become different in the positions, look like we're repeating history every time.
The more things change, the more they stay the same.
Exactly.
Whoever goes in as mayor need to have a resignation slip for all of those people who've been down there 25 and 30 years. They all need to go. They need
talking about that work at City Hall.
Say again, sir.
Are you saying that work at City Hall?
Yes.
In those big positions?
Yes.
So you know, Mr. Fred Zachary is a mutual friend of ours.
Right.
And he constantly talks about 27-0.
Right.
Talk to us about it.
Well, I worked at one time. It was 26-1 because Courtney Walker was over the recreation department, and they was going to try to fire him, and I came up, took up the case. He supposedly had stolen some money, which he did not. But what got me, the city went to the district attorney to bring formal charges against him. So they wanted him to resign, but they were trying to put pressure on him to resign, but he did not resign. So we fought it out, but I'm not going deep into that. But it was back to the 27-0. It was 26-1 then. And we've had some positions to come open, but blacks are never considered, and blacks don't get them. So
are they applying?
And see, but that's the other thing too. I know some position that blacks applied, and the blacks that applied, the ones I know, really wasn't qualified to do that job. You know, we want a black in a position.
You saying they wasn't qualified?
No, I don't feel like they was.
Okay,
I'm not saying all of them. I'm talking about
okay. I understand.
I'm talking about one position. But we just don't want a black in there for the sake of being there. You really got to know. And that's the thing.
You don't want to be given anything.
Right. Correct. Correct.
So,
but you want the opportunity. You want
the opportunity.
Right.
You want to apply like everybody else.
Right.
But and let me say this. I know that some of them wasn't qualified.
Most of them
not qualified.
Yeah. You're just a family member.
Right.
You know them very well, and you put them in these places.
And you're white. We can't leave that out.
That's it.
So
we got people putting crazy stuff in the comments.
I see you done had to block some people.
I don't block.
Come on here being crazy, you will be blocked.
You will be blocked.
You will be blocked. Get that understanding.
Reba said positions need to be filled based on qualification, not skin tone, friendships, relationship, etc. Which is correct.
That's correct. That is correct.
Unless we get some visionary people for the city, we will continue to have the same issues and fall further behind in jobs, education, etc.
And you know what, Pastor, while you're putting those comments up there, I think that this is, I think that this we're in a good space right now with a good time, good space and time. We are entering into this is an election year,
Correct.
and hopefully everything that we're saying, everything that's being spoken from, even from our viewers, that we enter into this election year with a different frame of mind
Correct.
to put people in position for what they are qualified to do. And
Correct.
even here is the thing:
Correct.
hold them accountable.
Accountable. Correct.
You were elected by the public. You are a public official. The public needs to hold you accountable. And if you can't deal with being held accountable, don't run.
That's right.
That's true. That's true.
Don't run, because that's the way it goes. You are elected, so elected people need to be accountable to people who elected you.
That's correct.
Reba said nepotism is the reason Gadsden is falling, which is correct. And a lot of things fall because of it. Jenny Cup Howard, my classmate, said be accountable. That's right.
And that's the problem. People don't want to be held accountable. You ask them questions, they get upset.
And
But
tell people to sit
you are
down.
there to take the tough course. That's why you're there. You in that position. It's not supposed to be easy.
And tell people to sit down. That's not only rude, it's disrespectful.
That's true.
And it is not professional.
That's true. That is so true. Now they talk about me coming from Atlanta to Gadsden. Somebody told me, and I don't know if it's true or not, rumor that one of the council members come from Birmingham to serve out of the position, that they don't live in the city. I don't know if that's true or not, but
they come from Birmingham to tell you sit down. Don't you see it?
No. You crazy.
Real talk.
You crazy.
that is
Get
real
out.
talk. That is real talk.
Ooh,
They said if citizens question them, they laugh.
That's true. That's very true.
Well, first of all, I was really amazed when we sent the invite to the councilman to come on the show and just kind of explain their position
Right.
on the for funding the board. I mean, the education, giving funding to the education.
Right.
I was just kind of amazed that I had to deal with the city clerk. The city clerk had to get to them.
That's correct.
I thought at least they had emails that were given to the citizens or numbers where it's almost like y'all know it's going to be some pop out. So you got this shield up to where everything has to be censored before it gets to the people.
That's very true. And the president of the council is the one who decides whether you can come up or not. Although you may sign up, you still cannot get a chance to come. If she said, well, no, they can't come. They can't speak on this issue. So the mere fact that you sign up does not mean you're going to get a chance to speak. It goes to the president of the council last. And then if she decides whether you can come and speak or not. That's how that works.
They said Advanced Evolve said Reba can get you any contact information if you need it.
Okay, so let me ask this. This gets even more crazy to me. So the president approved your coming to talk.
Yes.
She knew what you were going to talk about.
Yes. In fact,
then she said,
the fact of the matter, you saying that is funny. You have to give them the topic, what you're going to speak on. They have to know that. And if it's something that you're not supposed to speak, they won't let you come. See, I give a topic. When I get up there, I'm going to say what I want to say. And they can hear me say that. But that's how I do it. My topic is different. I'm going to say what I want to say. But that's how they do it. It's sad.
Okay, but you were approved. They knew what you were going to talk about.
Each time you see me there, it has to be approved.
Sit down, and you didn't have the nuts guts. The other people didn't have the nut guts.
Yes, I had to come speak for them. That's what she said.
y'all.
But it has to be approved by the president before anyone can speak.
I'm gonna need some tea. I'm gonna need some tea when it's over with.
And
Y'all,
Gadsden is the only
Whoa.
place that does that. Anywhere
Woo.
else, you signed up to speak, your name is on there, and when you come up there, you talk about whatever you want to talk about. But in Gadsden, you have to let them know what your topic
Mr.
is.
Cole,
Yes, sir.
hold on 1 second.
Real talk disclaimer. The
I'm just saying.
Oh, you had to put up the disclaimer.
The views and opinions.
That's why I told you we need one that's got the voice right with it. Then we need one that just can be put up while we talk.
Mhm. Whew, Jesus Christ.
Y'all got me going
You see the
tonight. I
words
just can't
you see the
believe.
words I use? Jesus Christ.
Right.
And y'all talking about pecans.
No, the guts, the guts, the guts.
But see, that's what you're dealing with in Gadsden. People cannot come and just talk about what they want to talk about.
How long has it been that way? Did it change?
No, it's been that way
It's
for a
always
while.
been that way.
I appeal to them just to open it up, give a certain amount of minutes for public speaking. People just sign the list when they come in. They call them up. They don't do that. That's not the process. They make it very difficult for the people, and that's why the people don't come. And they want to know why
That's
they
why
don't
we have a
come.
problem.
You have to go through all these hurdles to
That's
get a
right.
chance to speak, and people don't want to go through that.
That's right.
Um,
That's right. That's right.
Here's my classmate said, we can change this.
That's right. We
We,
can.
we-
We.
and we need some people with ideals, people that really want to advance their district.
Right.
And I think if people that run for the different districts need to run. Now, here's the thing: if you get another petty mayor, I don't care who run for your district.
Right.
You can't get nothing done if he controls the council.
That's true.
Okay, you can't get nothing done for your district if he controls the council,
That's true.
and you go against something that won't benefit the district or the community in which you are representing. So we got to make sure that we put the right people in the right place.
That's correct. That's correct. That is correct.
And and
Oh,
as
they
much as
going
I
deep.
love my people, and I think we just as smart as anybody else, I want the right person.
It has to be.
Because it hurts more when you got one of our own that stick a knife in you versus somebody else sticking a knife in you. It hurt worse.
That's very true.
But David Stanley, that's they're going deep now. David Stanley, you see it.
Oh, they said Robert Avery can come talk about anything, anytime because he's Toll's relative. They have never been watched like we watching them for the past year. Remember that.
Put Pam Smith
Yes,
up
we
there
can
too.
change this together.
Put
Talking about
Pam Smith
your
up there.
face. Talking about the
That's
way
why I did like this.
Yeah.
That's why.
And attorney Christy Knowles is on. She said we can change this together.
That's
hey man,
right.
you need a test? You need a test?
No, I'm good.
Yeah,
I'm good. Just need some water. I'm good.
I didn't put my mask on
But
because
that's
I don't know.
right.
Listen, I don't know how you get it. I don't know if you get
Vaccinated and boosted.
I don't
Vaccinated
know
and boosted.
how you get it. Order that test, brother. Make sure you ain't got it.
Vaccinated and boosted. Yeah, I'm good.
Good. Appreciate you, man. Anything that you have for him, Bishop?
I don't. You answer one question I was going to ask you, because Pastor Z said the people want to know why do the people get you to come to the city from Atlanta and address these issues? So my question was going to be, why do you do it? Even though the people want you to come, but why do you do it? But you answered it. You answered that question. Unless it's just something that you want to say, you answered it for me. So it's been good to have you on the show. and I'll say stay in the trenches, as well as we've got to find a way to get everybody involved,
That's
or to
that's the key.
unify, to
That's the key. That's the
first
key.
bring people together,
That's the key.
unify across racial barriers,
Right.
and make a change in this city, because it's not just to make, we can make it better, it needs to be made better.
That's true.
Yeah, especially, I know there are some black and brown communities where definitely some things need to happen, but
That's
we're
true.
stronger when we unify and when we work together. So thank you for coming and being our guest tonight, and thank you for had it not been for you at the council meeting, we wouldn't know that there were issues regarding
Right.
Juneteenth and the
Community center.
community center. So thank you, and
Thank you all very much for having me. And keep this up, because we need real talk. It's enough fake going around. We need something real. And we need to just tell the people the truth. If the
Yeah.
truth hurts, it hurts. But we need to put the truth out there and stop playing games.
Right. Donna said, amen, across racial. Um, we want to, Bishop T and I want to make Etowah County the best we can make it.
Right.
We do our part, and this is part of our part. We want Gadsden, Etowah County to be a place for everybody.
Right.
That everybody gets the same piece of the pie.
Right.
Everybody get the same opportunity. We got some people that we went to school with, and those that are graduating even now from colleges and are returning back to Gadsden, that can come in here with great minds. They done seen some things. See, if you'll never go look at another city and see how they doing it at another city, you'll never be able to come back with new ideas.
That's true.
And so there are ways. We got people that is not stuck on the whole Jim Crow type stuff, and they're not racist at all.
Right.
They just love people. They're good people,
right,
and they want to see Gadsden grow. Those are the people that we need to consider voting for.
Right.
Instead of people that we see names that are familiar, or people that have been in politics for a lengthy long time. Jesse Jackson, I grew up, he was a role model.
Right.
Al Sharpton, role model.
Mm-hmm.
Didn't know nothing about Obama.
Absolutely.
Okay, but don't get mad when Obama come along with ideas, and Obama come along and become popular among the African Americans, and you no longer have the clout, and you're no longer relative.
Right.
You know what I'm saying?
Right.
Obama time.
That's right.
And we witnessed, we witnessed Jesse at an interview with a hot mic saying negative things about Obama before Obama was elected.
That's correct.
And that's the thing. As much as we sit here and say what our people deserve and what our people need to get,
we got some work.
We got to stop tearing each other down.
That's right.
I have a great
in our own community.
Yeah, we got a lot of work to do. We fight against each other.
That's true.
And I'm gonna say this: if we had a mayor of the African American race in the condition that the current mayor is in, we would have blown the whistle on him a long time ago.
That's correct. Oh, my goodness.
And got them removed from that particular office.
Yes, that's true.
And everybody know exactly what I'm talking about.
That's true.
Because there's no secret.
That's true.
If that was the case, and the whistle would be blown from our own community.
That's true.
See what I'm saying?
That's
because we will expose our own, but then we can sit there and go along with what other people do.
Whatever they do, that's so true. And defend them. And
Minister Treadwell said something earlier. She made a statement about
your ice is colder than mine.
Your money greener. We got that kind of
that mentality is still true.
Uh-huh.
That mentality is still.
It's still true. It's still here. It's still here.
I want Etowah County to rise, man. I want us to rise like
That's
no
right.
other. I want the economy here. I have to travel, and I just celebrated 15 years at the Anniston Army Depot.
Okay.
But I've been traveling 15 years.
Okay.
Down 35 miles one way.
Right.
To earn a living and returning back to this city. And it's sad when I got to go out of my own city to make a living to
support your family.
You see what I'm saying? And and when we should be able to have all type of manufacturing, we done had the steel plant go. We done had the Goodyear to go. Right. I was at the steel plant when it closed down. Mm-hmm. And I went from the steel plant to Charge Fabricators.
Okay.
At the time, I was making every bit of $17 an hour at the steel plant.
Okay.
Went from $17 an hour to making $7.50 an hour. Okay.
Yeah.
All right.
Yes.
See what I'm saying?
Yes.
And then I went from there. I went to Buffalo Rock. Went from Buffalo Rock. I went and became a correctional officer for 3 years at Etowah County Detention Center. Right. Left there and ended up going to the depot and been there ever since for 15 years. Driving home sleepy, going to work sleepy. Right. Don't know how I made it sometime. Mm-hmm. But you burn. Listen, with the truck I drive now, I spend almost $140 a week. It takes $70 to fill my tank.
Yes, right. Okay.
So you ain't gonna. Yes. It ain't gonna last a whole week.
No. And the way they talking now, with what's going on, that's gonna get higher.
That's true. That's true.
You know what I'm saying? So you burn it. Really, that's $140 before taxes.
That's right. That's true.
And you got to, and you I'm just saying, we're dealing with this, and we got to do what we got to do. That's citizens true. Of Gadsden.
That's true.
To make Gadsden
That's true.
Better.
That's true.
Make Gadsden better. And it's for everybody.
For everybody. Everybody.
We need to ride in Oakland State used to be the Oakland State was it was a great neighborhood. It was nice. You ride up through there. You ride up through there now.
Yes, I have. I've been.
Some of the places that don't get the attention that they need.
That's true.
You ride up in them now. Go up in your neighborhoods.
That's true.
Don't sit there and shake your head and say, "Oh, that's all they want to talk about." What we're talking about because it's an issue.
It is.
Until the issue get resolved, that's why you keep talking about the community center not open. It's an issue.
Correct.
Until you open the community center and we see what the state of the art is and what $5 million look like in our community center, we're gonna keep talking about it.
That's correct.
So until we get the areas in Gadsden that get the attention that it deserves, the money put into the communities that deserve, then we're gonna keep talking about it.
That's correct.
And making the people aware. That's right.
Yeah,
that's true.
Yeah, yeah. It's only one way to shut me up about it. Fix it.
That's it.
That's it. Yeah, that's it. Fix it.
Fix.
Okay. Okay, Mr. Cole, we enjoyed it, man. We thank you for coming on. We look forward to talking to you in the future, especially now. If anybody, you go to the city council again and they tell you to sit down again, make sure you put it on your post. We'll bring you back on and ask you.
Sure will. Thank you so very much.
Okay. All right, man. You have a wonderful night.
Thank you.
Bye-bye. All right.
You too.
Oh, Bishop. My God. My heart rate got up.
You did. It did. I'm going to tell you how high it got up, too, when we get off the air. I can't tell you on the air.
Yeah. We thank Mr. Cole. Y'all flood the timeline with hearts and thanking Mr. Cole for being our guest on today. We thank all of you. I tell you what, flood the timeline with hearts to celebrate yourself. Celebrate yourself right now. Right now. We thank you for lending us your time on tonight. And we thank you for all this, the questions and the comments that was made here on Real Talk. Bishop, it's been great again.
It has. It
I
has.
enjoyed you. We got some future things that'll be coming your way, future events that is in the planning stage that we'll be talking about in the near future. We're looking forward to bringing on some people concerning some music, a CD that they put together, and we're gonna talk about that in the near future as well. So we want you all to stay safe, continue to wear your mask.
Please.
Take this very seriously. Okay,
Please.
take it very seriously. We want everybody to survive this pandemic. Okay,
Please.
Bishop, anything you would like to say before we go?
We have the necessary tools to make our numbers better in Gadsden and to do what we need to do. We have the necessary tools, the vaccination, the mask, social distancing, and then at the end of the day, we have God Almighty looking over us and keeping us safe. So people, please, let's do what we need to do in the spirit and in the physical to get through, to get from a pandemic to an endemic, in whatever you call it, the endemic. That was my cousin on there. I hadn't seen her on before. Hey, Paige.
Yeah, you saw Paige. Let me
I
put
saw
Paige.
Paige. Hey,
Let me
Paige.
give her some more fame right there.
Hey, Paige.
Hey, Paige.
Hey,
Paige
Paige.
Patterson. How you doing, Paige? Hey, cuz. What up, cuz?
There you go. You always got to go too far. You always got to go too far.
Everyone have a wonderful night.
Wonderful night.